Death, taxes, and a new yearly COD release. Black Ops 6 is a return to form for the Call of Duty franchise, with a fully fledged campaign, multiplayer, and zombies experience. Not to mention that this year, Call of Duty makes its launch debut on Xbox Game Pass, meaning for many players on Xbox and PC, they can jump straight into the action with an active subscription at no additional cost. As someone who was disappointed with last year's Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 6 is a mix of frantic, classic, chaotic Call of Duty gameplay with all the guns, attachments, and camo grinding we've come to know and love, and I believe that both new and returning players will find something to get excited for this year. Firstly, let's talk about the campaign, and a small disclaimer, there may be what you would define as minor spoilers, but I won't show any of the major twists or reveals in this game. I would argue that MW3 was the worst campaign in Call of Duty history, maybe only second to Black Ops 4 because that game didn't have a campaign. But Black Ops 6 is a fully fledged campaign that doesn't resort to just copy and pasting Warzone elements. I hated those open fire missions from MW3 last year, as they really did reek of a game that should have been DLC. There is only one sort of open fire mission in this game, where you get a tac map, a car, and you can drive around with the gang and explore the desert as you destroy Scud and SAM sites. While it does slow the game down, at the very least it is more fun than any of those open fire missions, and if you do explore more areas, then you can have things like additional air support at your disposal when you make the final palace assault in the second half of this mission. Otherwise, there are plenty of Call of Duty over-the-top Hollywood moments throughout this campaign, and some particularly well done set pieces throughout the rest of the missions. The story itself sees you play as Case, who alongside Marshall, Woods, and Harlow are struggling to find out how a hidden organization known as Pantheon have infiltrated the CIA. Unsure of who the CIA mole is, or even who Pantheon is and what their objectives are, the gang will travel across the world recruiting other members to help join their cause, whilst working in the shadows as CIA Deputy Director Livingston restricts the group's movements due to the mishandling of a mission in Kuwait. I won't spoil the story, but Black Ops has always gone for the more psychological rollercoaster mixed in with conspiracy theories, so expect to see more of that sort of story here. Although I will say that after playing the other Black Ops games, you can kind of see the twist coming in from a mile away, so it doesn't have that same impact, but there were still some missions that caught me by surprise. Between missions, you can walk around a safe house called the Rook, in where you can talk to different characters to get their take on the situation and how they are feeling, fairly similar to Cold War. You can also discover a few hidden secrets at the Rook. You can use the cash that you find during your missions to help build upgrade stations to improve how you handle weapons, your physical attributes, and more. While I did feel the final act didn't have the same impact as other Black Ops games, this is still a proper campaign and there are some really great missions here. The 90s setting also really does a great job, not just with the art design, but also placing this game in a period where everyone is looking over their shoulder, unsure who to trust. The Cold War might be over, but in terms of Black Ops, it just means that there are new enemies that are unknown to them, and while they don't exist on a map, they may be much closer to home than they originally thought. All in all, this is a solid campaign, which while I don't think it is iconic, it is certainly a major improvement from last year's MW3, and I think is a very fulfilling campaign. Let's turn our attention to multiplayer, where most people will probably spend their time here, including myself. We have a good list of 12 core 6v6 maps and 4 strike maps, which are used for the 2v2 gunfight mode, or the face-off mode, which is normal 6v6 but with no score streaks. I have to say, I think the selection of maps here is pretty good, and all your classic modes are back, like TDM, Hardpoint, Domination, S&D, as well as Kill Order, which is basically TDM with a VIP. There are currently 33 weapons at launch. They all have their own great feel, look, animations, and purpose within this game. I've started my camo grind, for which I'll say there are plenty of customization options you can make in the gunsmith, both with weapon attachments as well as cosmetic skins and stickers. What can I say? It's a Call of Duty game. There is plenty on offer here, but once again, as this had a longer development time than Modern Warfare 3, it feels like a brand new game instead of some DLC. I spoke on Omni Movement in my impressions video, which I'll link below. Essentially, you can run in any direction, dive in any direction, slide in any direction, There was a little bit less diving off balconies in the matches I played compared to what we got in the beta, but as time goes on, players will learn how to best implement these strategies, and what I will say is I really do feel that Call of Duty is back with this particular installment. If you love that frantic, classic Twitch 6v6 gameplay, then I think you'll have a lot of fun, whether you are going for the big score streaks, grinding camos, or just squatting up with your buddies. Now, zombies, however, that is an interesting discussion to have. I'm going to start out by saying if you are an old school zombies player and you miss the good old days where you went down in a couple hits, it was just some basic perks and none of those Warzone sort of elements that we got from recent Call of Duty installments, then you might be disappointed. You'll still be running around picking up salvage and playing with armor, but I have to say I actually found myself really enjoying this game. There are 2 maps on launch. Liberty Falls takes place in a residential town, while Terminus takes place on an island prison. This really is quite similar to Cold War Zombies, as the zombies have health bars, there are weapon variants you can craft, the perk machines are back, Pack-a-Punch is back. You can also call in score streaks, which will help with some trickier Easter egg steps. I really do think zombies is difficult to talk about because most people who are really passionate about this community will generally agree that the best zombies experience was Black Ops 3. And unfortunately, I doubt we're going to get anything like that again. These Warzone mechanics are here to stay, but in defense of Black Ops 6 zombies, these maps aren't these open world spaces like Outbreak or Modern Warfare zombies. They are grounded maps with their own story, themes, setting, and Easter eggs. And honestly, I have to say I actually had a lot of fun because you can get set up pretty quickly and get straight to killing hordes of the undead right off the bat. This game gets hectic a lot faster, and I personally think that while the hardcore zombie fans might be a bit disappointed, I think the majority of the player base that is outside of that die-hard old school zombies community, I think they'll really enjoy this experience. I really liked Liberty Falls. I was worried that it was going to be a very open world map, but it's still grounded and well designed, and I honestly think if you really aren't sure if this is going to be your thing, I recommend you get it on Game Pass and give it a shot. That's the benefit this year with COD being on Game Pass. You can really smash it for a month, and if you don't like it, then you're not out of pocket for the cost of a full AAA game. Anyway, that's a brief review of Black Ops 6. I'm really enjoying this game, so I'll be playing more of it over on Twitch. So please feel free to give me a follow and join in on the conversation over there. Link is in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave a like and comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are on Call of Duty Black Ops 6. And also, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss my upcoming videos. Thank you so much for watching. Lancy out.